man, he got some good news for you. Hey, man, now listen. Hey, everybody, gather near. The doctor's in the house, so lend him your ear. The things he can say might even make your day. He might even help your pain go away. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. I'm sure he can tell you just what to do. The doctor is in the house.
Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the doctor is in the house. This is Dr. Ron, host of Dr. Ron Unfiltered, Uncensored, hitting our 481 podcast today. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, I really think this is a great podcast if you're looking for a reliable source of medical and educational material. I've been around for some time, over 57 years in the practice of medicine. We're try to keep the conversations compelling and try and bring you up to date on the latest advancements, especially regarding medical ethics and gaslighting by the medical industrial complex. So whether you're a medical professional or a layperson, I hope can appeal to both of you and give you some insight and knowledge regarding alternative care and holistic medicines, because we like to discuss those topics on this show. So I just thought that, if you don't want to miss out on a show and get some great medical and educational material, you can subscribe to Dr. Ron Unfiltered Uncensored on the Podbean app. And they'll give you a warning of when we're doing a live show like we are now, or when our regular scheduled show comes on at 4 p.m. on Tuesdays. And I want to make available to you a little primer I wrote on healing energy, a guide to your body's natural energy to heal. So if you're looking for ways to improve your health and well-being, and you want to learn how to use your body's natural energy to heal itself, you can drop me a email at docronradio@gmail.com and I'll send you a copy. And I want to thank all the people that have asked for copies and everybody that listens in. I'm really humbled by it. And I do welcome you all with an attitude of gratitude to talk about detox. So detox or not to detox? That is the question. Well, as I started preparing for this program, I thought, well, this would be an easy 15 to 30-minute podcast, and we can get you some valuable information. But, let's start out. It's going to be a little longer, I think, and I have a lot of information for you. So why the heck should we detox? Well, detox is short for detoxification, and it's the process where we remove harmful substances or toxins from our body. And it can vary from person to person because our bodies are infinitely intelligent and they do remove toxins on an as-needed basis. But, the world we live in is overloaded with toxic material. So if we want to have an improving of our overall health, boosting our energy levels, if we want to lose weight and we want to reduce our risk of chronic diseases, we have to get rid of these toxins. Our bodies are constantly exposed to it, pollution, pesticides, heavy metals. They can build up in our body over time. It contribute to, lots of different heart problems. So people say, well, how can it make you gain weight? Well, when you go on a diet, sometimes you feel awfully lousy. And that's because toxins are released from the fat. Most of them are fat soluble, and that's where your body puts them into fat, so they're not in our circulation. So you start to lose some fat, these toxins are released, and if you're not detoxifying as you're dieting, you feel awful, and you're likely to ditch your weight loss program. And toxins can cause digestive problems, skin problems, because, your skin is the largest organ of the body, and that's how the toxins want to escape. can cause headaches and mood swings and difficulty sleeping. And if you don't sleep well, you don't detoxify your brain. So there's a few reasons why we need to detoxify to improve our overall health. And we want to keep our digestive system. We are what we absorb. We want to make sure we absorb nutrients, and the digestive system is responsible for breaking down our food and absorbing the nutrients. So if it's not functioning properly, we can have a variety of health problems. Constipation is a health problem. You know, constipation is associated with Parkinson's disease now. Diarrhea, bloating, indigestion. So detox can improve our GI tract and support our liver, gallbladder, and intestines. And we can improve our skin health, have a more radiant looking skin. As I said, the skin is the largest organ of the body, and it plays an important part in protecting our body from toxins. And if your skin is not healthy, it can become dry, itchy, irritated. Detox can help that, ladies and gentlemen. And who does not want to have more energy? How often do I hear, oh, I just don't have any energy? When the body is not properly detoxified, it can lead to fatigue and low energy levels. It can affect the way energy flows through our body. And we've talked about how our body is like a big energy grid, and you block it up, we have disease. Detoxification can help improve our energy levels by removing those toxins. And of course, our immune system, which is in our gut, why we need to have and continually just fight to have a superior interior. The immune system is the body's defense against infection. If your immune system is not functioning properly, you'll have a variety of health problems. You know, you'll catch the flu, you'll catch the cold, you'll be subjected to getting allergy attacks. So detox can improve and boost your immune system. Now, is this the quick fix? No, it's not. It takes time for this to occur, and it's important that you have an overall healthy lifestyle. Right? It's going to take work. Now, some people say to me, "Well, I'm not exposed to. I don't eat heavy metals. I'm not around lead." Well, let me just give you an idea about aluminum. You don't ingest aluminum directly, but it is one of the most abundant elements in our soil. So anything that grows from the ground or eat things growing from the ground contains aluminum. The average amount of aluminum in common foods, for instance, potatoes, 100 parts per million, lettuce, 90 parts per million, grows in the ground. Tomatoes, 90 parts per million, pineapple, 100 parts per million. Even coffee, 97 parts per million. So you get the idea? I'm pretty sure there is no food that contains zero aluminum. I'm pretty sure of that. And we'll tell you about one product that I use every day that can help your body get rid of these toxic heavy metals. And you know, lead. That lead is a horrible heavy metal that weakens our body severely. It replaces calcium in our bones and weakens our bones, leads to osteoporosis, and has a lot of biochemical destructive actions in our body. Mercury, one of the most toxic elements known. It's in the flu shot. It's in some of the fillings that dentists used to use. They weren't silver fillings, they were basically mercury fillings. And mercury is probably the most common heavy metal on our earth. That's why we had this fight for years and years to get rid of mercury fillings. But as I said, mercury is found in many prescriptions and over-the-counter remedies and vaccines. And unless you're going to a functional medical healer, some of your symptoms may be missed and could be due to chronic mercury toxicity, because it also settles deep in the tissues, especially the brain, the kidneys, and the liver. Cadmium is a very toxic metal associated with the development of cancers. It's found in marijuana, ladies and gents, cigarette smoke, tap water, coffee, some processed and refined foods, hydrogenated oils, and shellfish. Very toxic metal, ladies and gentlemen. And that it also affects our kidneys, our cardiovascular system, and as I said, related to cancer. And we see arsenic used in movies and novels. Very toxic. It affects most people to some degree. Some writers are saying. I will tell you a good saying is arsenic is a left-sided poisoning because it affects your heart and the left side of your brain. Now, you say, I don't need arsenic, and my spouse or my loved one's not giving me arsenic, but many herbs are contaminated from soil and water. Many lakes are contaminated with arsenic, and it poisons the fish. It's found in beer, wine, rice, and butter. It's used as a pesticide on fruits and grapes. So if you don't think you're coming in contact with arsenic, maybe not directly, but maybe through what you're eating. So that's why we need to detoxify. And we have to have strategies to limit our exposure to these toxins. It's a worldwide problem. And that's why we have to continue to support a superior interior with probiotics. We have to expose ourselves to the sun and not have it demonized by mainstream media. So, very important that we have some sunshine. Vitamin D3 and K2, we've talked about that. And as you're detoxifying, it's important that you drink water. We're 70% water, but our cells are 99% water. We are mostly water. We don't drink enough, and that the water we drink is probably toxic. So the water we drink should be completely pure and have no toxic impurities and mineralized with sea minerals. So we have to filter our water and, if possible, ozonate it. We should try and eat as pure as we can. Don't eat processed or ultra-processed foods because they're grown in depleted, contaminated soil, the processed ones. And something that a lot of people don't like doing anymore is sweating, right? They wear ice around their necks and all, they do inhibit their body from sweating. But sweating is done through the skin, right? Through exertion, or through my preferred method, a sauna. That's really a great way to clear our bodies of toxins and increase the warmth of our bodies, which is very healing. There's lots of ways to use saunas. We'll do a separate podcast on that. I have gone back to a steam sauna because I do not trust the EMF guides on the infrared saunas. And support ourselves with some good vitamin C. It's really important. So it's important we detoxify because the food we eat, right, has pesticides, herbicides, chemical additives. The air we breathe has chemtrails from the air and other pollutants. Our chairs, our couches, our beds, our paint all have pollutants. And we're not even talking here, but we should be talking about the products we put on our skin, especially in a hot shower. They have all kinds of phytoestrogen chemicals in them. And most people think, you could go to ewg.org and check your water, but that's a common source of heavy metals. So there's many ways you're exposed to toxins, and they build up over time. And they could have a negative effect on your health. Not so much that you're, want to go to the hospital, but they affect you in that twilight zone between being healthy and sick, where your doctor will say everything's normal. We did 15 pages of tests, nothing's wrong. And you say, but I don't have energy. I have to take a nap in the afternoon. I can have a hard time getting around. I can't play a whole round of golf. I'm achy all the time. So we want to try and avoid toxins as best as we can, but it's downright almost impossible to avoid all of them. That's why we need a period of time when we cleanse them from our bodies. So the double Z's, I'll start with that right now. You'll hear that throughout the rest of the program. Zeolite and zymescence. Zeolite and zymescence. Zeolite, in my opinion, is a very effective natural supplement to bolster your health. It removes toxins. It alkalizes your blood. It strengthens your immune system. It can even protect the microbes in your intestines. And the one I recommend, and remember, I do not take advertisements, and I'm not beholden to anybody, but I like a product called Ultra Liquid Zeolite, first introduced to me by Dr. William Wong. It's extremely safe and non-toxic. It removes toxic heavy metals. It's like a honeycomb. It can remove pesticides, herbicides, and dioxin. It can reduce viral loads, especially if you're getting a cold. It can reduce the absorption of nitrosamines, like from processed foods. As I said, it can make your body more alkaline. And it can improve nutrient absorption. And interestingly enough, I was told by Dr. Wong 5 to 6 years ago that it would not interfere with your supplements or key nutrients, and studies are proving that. It can reduce your symptoms of allergies, can help your immune system, help prevent premature aging. That's easy to take, and we'll get more into that. Ultra Liquid Zeolite. That's the new form because it has a bioflavonoid in it, DHQ. And it can bind toxic heavy metals, including mercury and arsenic and lead and pesticides and herbicides, without removing, this is key, the beneficial minerals such as calcium and magnesium. So always we want to try and avoid getting sick and all the toxins, but it's almost impossible. So we have to have a program to detox. A little more on zeolite. The one that I recommend is clinoptilite. It's one of the more popular names in the zeolite family. And it has so many positive actions. And I do like the fact that it supports our gut health because that's where our immunity is. And we're not inhaling it, and it does not block the absorption of drugs and nutrients, and it's not contaminated with heavy metals. So when I first started in medicine in 61, uh, actually physicians were using clay as a natural detox medicine. Well, we've come a long way, and zeolite, 20 to 30 drops, 20 drops a day in 8 ounces of water is much easier to take. And it has a host of positive effects. Now, I will admit, a lot of research is done on animals, but there has been some done in humans also. But this ultra liquid zeolite is the most common form of zeolite for medicinal uses. And I especially recommend it, especially get rid of the heavy metals, and especially if you're feeling some brain fog, because brain cells are really sensitive to heavy metal poisoning. And maybe that's what we need to do. Detox that out of our brains. I will tell you something interesting. In 12 healthy drinkers, zeolite was shown to reduce the levels of alcohol by 43% because it blocked alcohol absorption with the drink. And that's in 12 healthy drinkers. In another study, 25 volunteers took zeolite the morning after a night out. Well, it was too late for the alcohol detox, but their hangover symptoms improved by 40 to 50%. And remember, it does help with nitrates. So anyway, that's ultra liquid zeolite. Now, how about a probiotic? Well, if you've followed my podcast for a period of time, you know that I am a user and I've done a lot of research on Megaspore. It is a spore biotic. Why do I like it? Because it withstands the acid and gets through the stomach into the intestine where it's needed. A lot of probiotics are destroyed by their stomach acid and enzymes. Okay. So I like a Megaspore biotic. And we also can eat, kombucha and yogurt, cultured veggies, more raw fruit and vegetables for a truly, healthy bacteria in our gut. And when you have your gut bacteria functioning properly, they help you break down your foods. You won't be as bloated. I'll talk to you a little bit more about BPA and BPS. It helps break that down too. So one other thing that we can do is something that's recommended is don't break the fast. That's how we got the word breakfast, because we don't eat anything at night. And in the morning, we break the fast, and that became known as breakfast. Well, if we can hold off a little bit and don't break the fast until you're really hungry around noon or so, that will also help us to get rid of a lot of toxins. So don't break the fast. So if you get hungry, well, I mean, you could, you want your coffee or tea in the morning, but I could tell you what a lot of people do, including your host, is put a tablespoon of coconut oil in with your coffee. It's like an immediate source of fuel because most of it is medium chain triglycerides, which your body uses for energy very quickly. And your liver breaks it down to ketones that is available for your brain, and it's a source of brain energy. So that might keep you going longer, so you can make that lunchtime meal instead of having to break the fast in the morning. And you know what our grandparents tell us? An apple a day. Well, it's still one of the an amazing nutritional story about apple. The Chernobyl children. Did you ever hear of them? After the meltdown of that reactor, they ate apples. And the apple pectin reduced the radioactivity of the cesium 137 in the children exposed by 60%. And it's a whole food. So, a lot of people say, well, I don't like apples. I'll just take apple pectin. Well, you have to mega dose on apple pectin, but you could also just eat one apple. Of course, it should be 100% organic and non-irradiated. If you have one great apple a day, it will keep the doctor away. And it will be a nice, healthy stack so that you don't break the fast rule. And one other thing, I have talked about this innumerable times about BPA. Unless you need your receipts from a cash register or a printing machine, please don't take them. Now, canned food has a lot of bisphenols in them. That's in the can liners. Yeah, it's not BPA, but it's BPS. It's a profoundly damaging class of gender bending because it's estrogen positive, heart damaging, brain damaging. And when you touch that thermal paper print a receipt, especially if you have damp hands, and if you have some lotion on your hands, it's going to accelerate the absorption of these chemicals into your system. So if you don't need that receipt, don't take it. If you must, handle it from the backside, not from the printed side. And again, we're going to be detoxifying, but why keep slathering petrochemicals all over our skin, the largest organ of our body? Probably worse than eating your toxins. Right? Because it gets directly into your bloodstream. There's no liver guarding the poisons. So if there's some chemistry that you don't understand in the ingredients, please don't use it. If you can't eat it, why put it on your body? It's going to even be more toxic for you because it does not have the liver guarding it. And be careful and drink the water, right? And we could always go to ewg.org to find out about our water. And if you have had water sitting in plastic bottles for a year, well, that water is going to be contaminated, not only with the BPS, but the contamination of also microplastics. And do you know, it's not only the fluoride in municipal waters that's bad. There are 600 plus disinfected byproducts, all of which are known to be toxic to the body and damage our DNA. That's in our municipal water. Watermelon has a lot of good water in it if you can't get filtered water right away. And it's structured by the universe, huh? It's already come structured. We don't have to structure it. Dr. Pollack was the one that discovered that fourth phase of water, that structured water that can carry valuable electronic information through our whole body. So that's why we must detox. So if we're in that twilight zone, we're Conventional medicine tends to think of our bodies as either sick or healthy, but there is a twilight zone that functional and uh, holistic healers focuses on, and that's optimizing your function of your body and your organs. Instead of waiting around for something to show up positive on a test before you get disease. Our bodies inherently want to be healthy. So with support, it will cleanse itself. It will reconstruct itself. It will regenerate itself. And you'll be happier, and you'll be less in the sympathetic part of your nervous system. The emergency department will be shut down, and you'll be more in the parasympathetic division where the housekeeping is. And you'll have more energy. The other product I want to mention is Zyme Essence. I've done a lot of shows, and so has Dr. William Wong. But it is the strongest systemic enzyme that you can get. And I think Dr. Wong's Zyme Essence can be had through Wong Essentials. That being said, you run out of enzymes as you get older. Your body stops producing them. Without enzymes, you cannot break down the toxins. You cannot have a lot of chemical reactions taking place that you need to be healthy. And I guess I probably should do another program with Dr. Wong just on Zyme Essence, because it's something that with zeolite should be taken every day, in my opinion. And my family and friends do that. And there's another product that we were educated on by Brian Peskin, the Parent Essential Oils, that help clear up your cell membranes so these toxins can get out of the cells, since they've been contaminated with all the fast food and trans oils that are around our cells and around our mitochondria, like I talked about last week. They get all gunked up, so oxygen can't get in and toxins can't get out. What happens? You have no energy. Your micro voltage drops. Like I talk about in my primer, energy healing, because you'll learn about some different types of energy healing in this little short 17-page booklet, and how you can use different energy to heal yourself. And you'll learn about the benefits of energy healing and better physical growth, emotional well-being, and you'll have energy to get through the day. Let me give you one other secret detox drink. This is Dr. Josh Axe, AXE. He makes up a drink, and it's pretty good, really. It consists of apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, cinnamon, and honey. It has very few calories, but loaded with nutrients. And what he likes to do is warm up 12 to 16 ounces of water, and then add the ingredients. He starts out with two tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. It should be organic apple cider vinegar. Then he stirs in 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a dash of cayenne pepper. Then he puts in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of raw local honey. That's optional, but I use it, and it really adds to the drink. Makes it a little sweet. Now you stir it all together and ready to go. You're ready to rumble. Now you can drink it warm or cold. I like mine on the cool side. You can drink it once a day or 3 times a day to flush out toxins. Well, you should be detoxing a little bit every day. If you're taking the zeolite and the zymescence, both start with Z, and you have this detox drink, you're on your way to feeling better. Only take a couple minutes to put it together. Okay, so detox. And artificial sweeteners, ladies and gentlemen, please, as I've said before, the word diet soda, DIE, means die. It kills our gut bacteria. And I'm talking about aspartame, sucralose, saccharin. And I talked about erythritol a couple weeks ago. It's toxic to our bodies, to our cells, and maybe to our DNA. Just think about that. And there's so many other changes. It can change our cells. And you know what? We're not getting thinner as a nation because of these diet drinks. So, one study said animal research shows all artificial sweeteners currently approved and deemed safe by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration cause DNA damage in and interfere with normal and healthy activity of the gut bacteria. So, as part of your avoiding toxins, let's get rid of the artificial sweeteners. And ladies and gentlemen, I hate to tell you this, but we didn't even talk about how we should be detoxing from electromagnetic fields. Turning off our Wi-Fi at night. Distance is your friend. Keep that cell phone away from your head. Use the speaker on your cell phone. Turn that Wi-Fi off at night, please. Really important. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Dr. Ron. Dr. Ron Unfiltered, Uncensored. Please follow me on Podbean, but I'm also on Spotify and Apple and Google and iTunes and iHeart and wherever. There's a lot of places. And let's take care of those toxins so we can feel better and have more energy. Don't be afraid to sweat. Be cautious when you're shopping. Don't just buy any detox products. You can just use what we talked about today, like good lifestyle, which includes exercise. So detoxification, along with your healthy lifestyle, it's just so super important to feeling good and staying out of that twilight zone. Where all your tests, hundreds of pages of blood tests. Oh, my doctor can't find anything, but I don't feel good. Maybe that's what you got to start doing. Start doing some detox. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you next week. Have a great time. Stay well, stay healthy. Have an attitude of gratitude and always operate with love. Bye.
Hey everybody, Dr. Ron's finished for today. I hope you got some good wisdom for what the man had to say. If it's all about good health, he's the man you got to see. He has a lot more answers for you. So tune in next week when the doctor is in the house. Or when the doctor is in the house. And let the doctor know what's bothering you. When the doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. I'm sure he can tell you just what to do. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's what's bothering you when the doctor is in the house. So if you have a pain, call the doctor. If you have a strain, call the doctor. Let the doctor know what's bothering you when the doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. See you next week.